Welcome back, Bulldogs. Well, we've spent the last couple of weeks reading through our novel studies, and we were even getting into talking about author's purpose. And we all know, and there is another video that will kind of refresh your memory on that. The author's purpose is usually going to be to persuade, try to convince you to do something or believe something, to inform you, share details, impart wisdom, if you will, or to entertain. Now, to entertain, just because you may not find it entertaining doesn't mean that that is not the purpose. So what about when you're reading or looking at something and you're not sure what the purpose is? Well, a good thing that you can look at and tell is look at the text structure. Look at the structure of the story or the article, the passage, the book even. And look, and that can often tell you what it's trying to do. So here are 5 of your key text structures. Now it is labeled informational text, but you could translate and you could have any of these be for fiction as well, depending on how you write it. So we're going to go through some of these structures, and then we're going to look at some clues that tell you that is the structure you're looking at, and we'll give you some examples also. Okay. So your first structure, if you look here, is the description structure. This is what you're going to be reading if you're getting a lot of details and characteristics about someone or something. So my Peter Pan readers out there, describe Hook for me. Well, Hook is described in the story using the description structure, okay? That tells me what he's wearing, tells me he has a hook on his hand or where a hand would be, okay? So how do I know I'm looking at description and not a true story? Okay, you're going to have a lot of adjectives, a lot of descriptive words that we've talked about in the past. You're going to see characteristics. Now, how are characteristics and adjectives? A characteristic is how a person is. He is kind. Okay, you're going to see lots of examples. He swung through the tree like a monkey swinging from bamboo. Okay, you've got examples there. And you're going to have a mental image building in your head. So if you guys recall, a couple of weeks ago, we kind of generated some images in our minds for what Neverland would look like or what Hispaniola would look like. Okay, that would be descriptive writing. So what do you do when you are actually trying to write description text? Well, you're going to have to brainstorm, and that's what these visuals here are for. You can use these visuals and fill them in based on what you're reading. And if you're writing something and you wanted to use the description structure, you're going to put your topic here in the middle and describe it with the bubbles. And you guys have all used these maps before. I know you have. So a good example of description, ice cream is a frozen, sugary, sweet delicacy. The treat comes in flavors like vanilla. Well, that gave me an adjective. It's frozen. It gave me characteristics. It's sugary. And it gave me an example like vanilla. And you can actually see a scoop of ice cream in front of your face. I hope you guys aren't watching this before lunch. Okay, that is one of your structures. And we're going to, in our next video, we're going to be going over which structures are most common and with which author's purpose. So be sure to tune in for that. Your other structures, you could be comparing and contrasting two things. That's when the text is going to talk about how two characters or two places or things are the same and different. And some of your words or the clues you're going to have are they are both this, neither are this. So Peter Pan and Captain Hook are both prominent figures in Neverland. Neither Peter Pan nor Captain Hook want the other to be in control. Okay, and you might see this double bubble map if you needed to illustrate what you're reading. Okay. One of our examples, although both ice cream and veggies are food, ice cream is less healthy and eaten as dessert. Veggies, however, are a side dish to a meal. Yeah. So that is one way that you could structure text or structure a story. Okay. You might have order and sequence, and that is when you're sharing something chronologically. Remember back to our Greek roots from last week? Chronologically. And telling something in sequence, that's when you're going to see those with biographies and autobiographies quite a bit. You might see that in a science book when you're reading about the lifespan of an animal or the water cycle. That's told in order, okay? It's going to tell you order of events, your instructions, your steps, anything like that. So what signal words are you going to hear? You're going to hear first, then, next, last, after that, okay? And you might have one of these flow charts to kind of organize your thoughts. First comes this one, second comes this one, okay? And then you have an example over here that is just giving you directions on how to do something, okay? You also have a text structure that is a problem and solution, okay? Now this text is gonna give you a little bit of background about the problem. So think of a problem that you might see. It may not be a problem to you, but it could be a problem to somebody else. So that's gonna give you the background of the problem, and then it's gonna propose a solution. So if I'm proposing a solution, what might my author's purpose be? Think about that, okay? And you might see a tree graph similar to this to map it out with your problem at the top and then labeling your 3 solutions and then your details about each solution underneath, okay? You could have cause and effect as well. This text is going to lay out an event, which is usually your cause, and it's going to tell you what happened after that event, be it positive or negative. And you might see cause, effect, if this happens, then that will happen. Because, as a result, due to, and there's plenty of others. I know you guys have been reading about cause and effect for a couple of years now, and it's important to know what they are. Now, here's the catch. Here's one visual that you guys should be familiar with. You have your cause in the middle, and then you have your effects. But couldn't you have that reversed? Couldn't you have 3 causes or 2 causes leading to 1 effect? Think about that. Okay, so I wanted to take a moment and go over the informational text structures. And in my next video that I'm having for today, we're going to go over the author's purpose once more, because this is something we've got to know. We've got to nail it down. But I'm going to tie back into this chart here and go over, if you have a story that you know is description, what is the probable purpose? Or if you're reading a problem and solution, what do you think you're reading? Okay, so be sure to watch that, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great day.